For those of us with ADHD, overwhelm is something that we know very well. That rush of high intensity that carries us into fight or flight. But after the overwhelm or the crash or the rush, there is often a slump or a freeze, a heaviness, a shutdown, perhaps even a sense of being a little dissociated, a little distant from yourself. What is actually happening is this: the system, after a very high peak of dopamine, crashes and takes us lower than where we were when we started. What we need in those moments is to come back online, somewhere between the crash and the shutdown, and a place of being calm, alert, and focused. That is what this is. So, I invite you to find a comfortable place to rest wherever you are right now. And perhaps, as you settle, you might let your eyes gently close. You might begin to notice your body, the way that your body connects with the ground beneath you, the way it is being held right now. Your feet against the floor, your sit bones, your back, wherever it is making contact with something solid. You might notice that your body is already here, already in contact with something that is holding you, supporting you. And perhaps you might notice your breath. And as you might begin to notice your breath, in this moment, you might notice how it moves your chest up and down, how it feels when it goes through your nostrils, into your lungs and back up, the soft sighing sound it might make. And you might especially notice the exhale. Perhaps it's a soft sighing sound, finding its way out, and you might let it. In your imagination, you might find yourself at the edge of a familiar, rocky coastal cliff. The same ancient stone, but the water is quieter now. The larger waves have moved further out. And there, just ahead, nestled between the rocks, a tide pool. You might even notice it, a small, still pocket of ocean left behind when the white receded, and that watery waves moved back. The water is very quiet, still, held within the stone. And perhaps you lower yourself gently to sit beside it. The stone beneath you is cool, solid, textured. You might feel the coolness through your hands where they rest. The surface rough and warm, completely steady beneath the weight of you. And perhaps you might begin to notice your breath once more. Simply the breath as it is, here, right now. Curious, just noticing. And you might begin to notice the exhale. Perhaps there is a sigh already finding its way out. You might simply let it move, however it wants to. And after the exhale, you might notice the inhale beginning to arrive on its own. A gentle expansion of the chest, the belly rising softly. Perhaps a little more air finding its way in than before. You might simply notice that. The breath moving in, the quiet warmth of it, and then the ease of the long exhale again. You might notice that just by noticing your exhale has already begun to change, already gotten deeper and longer. Perhaps you might let the exhale be just a longer still, a little longer and a little slower. And then the inhale arrives on its own, gentle, completely unhurried. The belly lifting as the breath moves in. And then the ease of the exhale once again. Perhaps you might begin to notice a small warmth somewhere in your body, the hands, your chest, your belly. Perhaps something in the body beginning to notice sensations again, just a little. Bodies come back this way, gently, with breath and unhurried time. You might begin to look into the pool. The water is shallow and clear, perhaps a soft blue-green, carrying the color of the sky above. And as you look, you might begin to notice small starfish resting against smooth stone, barely their sway of tiny sea anemones. Nearly still, just breathing, perhaps smooth pebbles, soft, smooth, by the water moving back and forth through the earth, and the pool just holding these things, the way the stone holds the water. And perhaps you might notice the ocean in the distance, still moving, still loud, but further away now. A background rhythm. And here, beside the pool, it is quiet, it is still. You might gently bring your awareness back to your body again. Perhaps now you notice where the heaviness is settled, whether it is in your chest, your limbs, behind your eyes, or perhaps your belly. Simply noticing the rest, curious, at ease, and perhaps your body having a moment of stillness and attention might begin to do something on its own. Perhaps a slow exhale finding its way out. Perhaps even a yawn arriving. Perhaps just the smallest settling of the weight in your shoulders or your jaw. Anchoring, grounding. Whatever your body does right now, you might simply let it. You might look again at the tide pool and perhaps you notice the light in it now. The way the surface catches the sun in small, quiet rays. Something alive within the stillness, moving slowly. Perhaps something that is already true in you. Something quiet, something held, something that has been there the whole time, even while the wave was moving. You might begin to notice your breath again, steady, moving on its own. And perhaps you might notice with curiosity a small sense of being back inside your body, inside yourself, present, at ease, still, here. Perhaps the heaviness has already begun to shift, even just a little. You might let yourself rest here, relaxed, at ease, calm, and gently, quietly, body coming back online. The waves have passed, and you are still here. Now take your time to gently begin to bring your awareness back to the present. Perhaps wiggling your toes and your fingers. Begin to notice the sounds in the room around you. Letting in more light or sound. Noticing the feeling of the air on your skin. Take your time to let sensations come back to your awareness, one at a time, gently. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.